There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. Yes, it is.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself, got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
Yes, your one disco mother. There's this giant ball there, and evil apes. And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball. Infinitesimally small. You can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large. Vying for resources is just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face, or you lose. Yes, it is. And you drowned in that sadness a long time ago. You lost.
The sound outside, you recognize it. It's a Caprice Camino motor carriage. You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, Someone has ripped half the faucet off. Was this not the same Elo that founds empires and lays waste to cities? Virile, uncaring towards the little things? Probably not, no. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand, abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? Please promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the ladies, whatever happens. You liar. You can't even tell the truth to yourself. Go ahead. Try something. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. You have some understanding of the near history of disco. The rest is darkness, aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside was a caprice cinema. Some 20-odd years. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
No. Because you're a police officer, sir. I'm not, unless you've been shitting us all this time. You've been here for 3 days, on official police business, no less. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
You have no doubt about the drinking. But do you strike yourself as a tight-lipped drunk? She must have heard something.
Could it be because of the drinking? Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
She nods.
There's a mercenary out back. He's been hanged. The body has been there for a week now. The locals probably got tired of it and called the cops. I didn't mean to overwhelm you with information. You seem a bit lost, officer.
The words have already left your mouth.
What was that? That's not even how words are used. What did you say? Come on, say it again. No, you see, that's not what you said. You said... Come on, man. Pretty, please. One more time. Goddamn right you did. You crazy asshole, you. What kind of cop are you? Okay, that's cool. Or if I can just maybe ask you to elaborate on that superstardom a tiny bit. I have certainly been entertained. Thank you. Whatever you are, you should stick to it. Otherwise, it's gonna suck for you later when you have to interrogate me. And for the record, no, I didn't do it.
There they both are, two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet like two baby crocodiles. It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told. The door is closed. You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Of course, at this point, precise measurements of your soul can only be performed from the outside. It needs to be heard through a PA system by other people. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry. No, don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance. Then look, that was disdain in his eyes. Even now he is purposely ignoring you. Looks like he's not a fan.
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Am I? Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room? You're right, you didn't, and it's only taken you 3 days not to. No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here.
A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. This is the Great Skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola, the part of the world you are in right now. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager. I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in. She just, you know...
His eyes dart from left to right. This man isn't lying, but he is hiding something.
So now you're a cop. Oh, forget it.
A competent looks like the bird. This is the Great Skua. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is... Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you. A competent looks like this is the Great... Something about it makes you feel...
Look, your buddy... Why don't you go and talk to...
He pretends not to hear you. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this, but why?
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize. Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Right. And the interviews? Okay. We'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, the body is still in the tree.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern. I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your sleeve and on your back. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside.
Inspectorate General means internal affairs. What he's saying is he's not from the rat squad and isn't supposed to suspect such things.
No need for derogatory terms. They're only doing their job. Yes. They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage, but again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job. You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence. We all feel that way sometimes.
And then, soon after, dead bodies would be dangling from all the trees.
But first, we have to take it down. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back after you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the...
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
Fantastic.
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt in your having this. Ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous questions, which you can later use in the more sinister ones, not vice versa.
Haven't you asked me that already? What is it with you and this woman? She has nothing to do with this. Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching. Good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get back to what I was... Behind this building, there's a courtyard. That's easy. See that door there? First, you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the...
This is it. He said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they, if he doesn't know?
Oh, people are saying it was the union dock workers, that it was a lynching. The locals, the customers, the people who eat here, a lot of dock workers eat here. Sylvie told me everyone knows the dock workers did it.
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or is it a rumor?
I don't really know. You'll have to ask her. I would suppose it's because they have nothing better to do.
You mean the strike?
Yes, the strike. The man they hanged was a security guard for the harbour company, I hear. A mercenary. The unionistas probably thought they'd send a message.
The lieutenant turns the page.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real. Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right, money. You owe this establishment 130 real. Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. so don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money. What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really. Are you serious? From your work? I don't know. You can take bribes, I guess. I'm sorry. I don't think cops can take bribes.
Some do take recompense, but only to survive.
Yes, it is. No, you see, that's 40 cents. Cents are a form of currency 100 times smaller than the real. I'm not even going to take this. Come back when you have 130 real. It is.
Isn't it evil? The order of magnitude between what is asked of a person and what they have.
It does, doesn't it?
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his... That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away. Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them, ask for assistance. We have to get this investigation.
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. In time or space? That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The Caprice Kinema motor carriage. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Ten-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his badge.
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Orson was wondering if you found your badge yet. Over.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's all...
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? Okay, it's gone. Your gun is most definitely gone.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Even before you can get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
He says he didn't lose his gun. Or his fun, whatever that means.
Ask him to describe it. His gun. Not his fun. Just the gun will do.
Satellite Officer McLean request.
Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
He says he does.
Dear God, he lost his gun? Oh my, I can't. This isn't really a laughing matter.
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself. But Disco here made him piss his pants.
Oh, I can't. Fuck. He lost his... Ask him if he still got his...
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over. He acknowledges your joke and asks you to lay
off. Lay off?
Tell him we'll lay off when he retrieves the goddamn police property that he has been entrusted with.
Satellite officer Vic. 10-4, affirmative. Officer is in pursuit of his firearm.
Oh God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over. Okay, 10-4, sir.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
What? What is it?
He wants to verify his info.
But of course, it says Dick Mullen.
Tell him to stop wasting time.
What do you need, sir? Over. That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12. Visitors present here. Over. Ten-4.
Hold up, Jules. He doesn't fucking know where he lives?
Seems like it, sir.
No, fuck him. Don't tell him anything. You understand? He's been hellbound for the gutter. Let him have it.
Sorry, sir. Anything more I can do for you? Over. 10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over. Sir, I will not have you talk to me in this manner. Over.
What? What is it?
He seems intoxicated and keeps asking me to call him.
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive. That's new.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics.
10-4.
Does he actually want something, or is he hell-bent on this?
He asked if he ever told me about it.
For God's sake, cut this shit out! Tell him to stop.
Sir, Satellite Officer Vic Mars. So, was there anything? Understood, sir. Over. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority.
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking kidding?
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important to...
He isn't getting a red cent. You can
Request denied, sir. He says he's in trouble. Doesn't have...
Well, I guess he'd better crack the case before sundown then.
Vic Mars said... Anything else, sir? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
a metallic drawer slide.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand. Heavier than you'd think. Useful for opening all sorts of... The handles are long and sleek. It's robust. Lets you see things in the dark you would... The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot. Quite.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you.
Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you? You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business. I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. No, not me. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast. Got it.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse. No one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the dock workers' union.
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to tell you, officer. Yeah, go on. Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
Oh, no.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM. And
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things. Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that. I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there. There is silence on the other end of the line.
Me neither. no idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy, like Gart. Trust me, you wouldn't want to be the guy here. No, you're the guy. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out, lest she turns into a spinster. Not a spinster, Mike. You have to intervene on behalf of Love. First, calm her down. Tell her you've got everything under control. Think you can do that, Lieutenant Love?
No. What? Oh, God. Please, just stay out of my life.
What? What is it?
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer?
It's on. The love quest is on. Too late, everyone. It's on.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook. This Post Lavantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic. Thankful even. So do you. You shudder. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. An off-key melody.
Kudos! Please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore, so I can't help you. Please don't call here...
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
You ring the doorbell. What an ominous name for a hair salon. All you hear is static. You ring the doorbell, but you wait for a minute or two. Looks like someone. You hear static from the intercom speaker.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric.
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly. The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Michelle, just please. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
She sounds like she's about to cry. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another seagull passes.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the key. Silence. Silence. Nothing happens. Silence. No one. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a pad. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the...
Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too. What do you mean, feel? We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has...
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea. The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them, you seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in, even through your clenched nostrils.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked, maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. 1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46? You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must have preserved them. 5. Another standard work boot. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace. Same make of boot, but number 41. Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it, in a strange, beautiful way. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. 8. And yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smooth.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? $200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between 2 men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. A woman or a kid? Okay, how do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
Understood. Anything else? Interesting. Let's name it the odd soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? Mm-hmm. A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Revachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last one.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in it.
What do I think? Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynch.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over. The lieutenant's eyes narrow.
Either way. What else?
Kuno's got this!
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness.
Oh yeah, nappa gumpy, Kuno!
Can't talk, pig! Shit's coming up strong! Throwing rocks!
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about. I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno! Ride the lightning, Kuno!
Kuno's riding at sea!
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. Fuck no! Kuno doesn't buy that shit. Fucking entrapment shit.
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces. You will see.
The language these kids are using, pure unfettered id. There will be no reasoning with those creatures.
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno! He says we're fucking each other!
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got. Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Look at that fucking shit! You're trying to get Kuno killed! Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking actor.
The lieutenant takes a quick note.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening? Fish is sometimes used to fertilize the soil a few weeks before planting something. Maybe she was preparing the garden beds. Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
Don't be wondering about Kuno's shit, pig. Of course you do, fuckface. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there.
The usual being. Have you...
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows what you meant. Kuno's not a snitch. That's all. Trying to make Kuno sing into the popo phone. Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems...
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno!
Looks like you're a faggoty now. Whatever that means. The suspicious question doesn't really work in antagonistic.
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno? Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revish. I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or I don't know. Some other...
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science fiction.
Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant.
Thanks, Kuno. That's one name.
You're testing Kuno's patience.
Get lost!
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
The fuck are you calling a third person? Kuno's the fucking first person?
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Help! He's digging his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Help! Misters, help! He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals! If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late! No!
The nearly psychopathic way they could slip in and out of the act implies you're not the first victim.
Look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating psychopathic ghost with...
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look that Kuno's dad gets. The murder look. The rage look.
Relax. He can't read your mind. He doesn't know you were thinking that.
I can. Kuno can smell that violent shit. I know what you were thinking. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut his shit down. You know what? You should have hit the Kuno, because now you're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
You don't talk to me about my fucking peeper! You don't know where I come from! You're just Kuno's bottom bitch!
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse. The smell is repulsive. It pushes... You feel a great force ringing from your stomach. Your body curls and pushes it out until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. There is Fritz nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't... There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Pretty clear.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted. Glad you asked. When junior researcher Olari Tal invented Eternite in the Vatna Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. Hence the name, Eternite. Sadly, the only lasting thing turned out to be the material's highly carcinogenic effect. Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid pallets, rhythmic pattern, calms your mind. No, there's more to this. You get this strange feeling. Hard to say. It's gone now. Feelings pass, you see. Especially the small ones.
Yes?
No response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your person?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Try work, the case at hand. It can work miracles. Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
A moment passes.
Can I help you? Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't...
I thought as much. And are you the only party who's accept?
Well, yes. Us and the...
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
Callous? What are you? Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container?
Was there something you... What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. What thing? What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. What? Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must. What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
God.
Oh, but he should be. Lay it on him. Life doesn't have a back button. Now get off your ass and speak the truth about Sylvie.
Wonderful.
It is.
What? What does that mean? Cock carousel? Does it mean you talked to her? What else did she say about me?
What else do you need? The man leans his hands on the counter and sighs. His head drops between the shoulders.
She broke the bird, you know. The great skewer. I found it on the ground with the broken wing. On the morning she left. I should have known. It was her way of telling me to piss off. I should stuff it up my arse.
Or you broke the bird. It can also be that. I think Sylvie even. Yes, the bird is connected to this. It's a symbol of hope, and she broke it.
Huh. Cock carousel. I think I understand now. They ride the cock carousel until the clock runs out. Here, now let me have a drink and think about this shit for a moment.
And there we have it. Isn't that beautiful? The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after.
The worker, perhaps he's on his way to on the counter, rolled out of his open hand. You see a blister pack of headache medicine. The worker continues to nap.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located? We're in the city of Revachol, dear. Yes, and Revachol? The new disco dancing. It seems like a lifetime ago. Much has changed, but it is still the most beautiful city in the world. A rare jewel set in the sand. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? There. The year is 51, and spring has only just started.
The lieutenant studies you. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant. How can it be that bad? Never.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Nope, sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is market-driven.
Meaning, buying is voting.
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his note.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary. Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. Of course, dear.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination. The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money. You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so... Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there, somewhere.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real. Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish. Benita. She's a model. Usually it's a model. Or a singer-songwriter. Or a model.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
She looks up from her magazine.
Yes, what we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself. I don't really know anything. Not really. No. I didn't know him at all.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know.
Okay. I don't know, really. Reality? You mean, what?
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher.
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frit. So I guess, like, that's economic. I don't know. What about it? When ordinary people take over the government and... Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Our government? Or do you mean something else. Cool.
A small cabinet on the wall. Their logo is the bloodless rose.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
Bastards! We have a right to... Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here. You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful...
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open, and try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocked. And I don't mean the scrawny mesk punk either. I mean head measurer, or whatever he is. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Honest men, we came here to help the...
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do! Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss. I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They do right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity. Let up!
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scam. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scam. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife? Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
The boyadero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Right, always glad to help out the RCM. We're on the same branch, you and I. Humans, I mean, not slithering scabs. Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini Supremus is there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best measure head in a physical confrontation, or you could convert to a Semini Supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible. Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong. Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic. Sure. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be...
He's a chatty guy. Once... Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal...
Okay, don't, like, overdo it or something. Saint Baptiste, you know, Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from...
I don't really know what hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor.
Nozafad heals +1 health. Dramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate centuries. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrand, he called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge... But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. That's what the revolutionaries said, 100 of cocaine. His Majesty's courtiers said beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's... Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing some years ago. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time. A rare butterfly. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness. Those critics might have it wrong, though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face, not that he ever did in life, The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hand. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is no response, wherever.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see the back end of the cabin as a small perch to sleep. Large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town.
The driver has adorned his space. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Are you okay, officer?
The weight is reassuring, like a krenel on solid fortification.
You're facing tough odds here. It's aggravated further by alcohol withdrawal. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. I think I've lost my sense of smell.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too. No. This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games, an endless variety. There's also a large books in a board game section. Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game. New maps and miniatures. That price is steep. But then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavor. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but...
Certainly there are good things to be said about dependents.
Exactly. In this kind of business relationship, I could come and critique your work any time. I could demand things from you, limiting your creative freedom.
We wouldn't want that.
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Why not? Was she not friendly enough? Were you not compelled to talk to her? What's wrong with her? Can't she do anything right? As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude.
The woman before you scans the store.
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why do you everything is on the shelves? Take a look
She smiles and nods, seemingly. Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide. Oh, yeah, like a horse, a workhorse. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way. A little. You make money. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter, and you didn't log that in as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself? Are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? Boo-hoo. The system is broken. Look, the immigrants are cool. Because of the taxes, G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gotham estate that is Revachol? You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. 98% of all your money. Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming. You see a set of tattered curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel comfortable?
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dream. Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries,
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things... Thank you.
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to... There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you.
Hello again, esteemed officer. And I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some...
She recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of.
It's just for decoration. Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial air. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the... It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy, and their malicious spirits are still here, feeding off bad business practices, and there's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who...
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so...
You look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. Go ahead then. Rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
You're parsimonese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us. If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney? Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What? Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite...
Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. Volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today. see a set. You see a.
Oh!
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not after exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's a barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if...
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. That's just a memory from another life. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and Some of the writing has faded with age, but these lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of translucent Welkins, with organs shining. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should adopt one of those Welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the...
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual entire oceans. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog. A pinned postcard reads, "This is a month." Mini-Me stands for a mini-meeting. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: call in, tune out, Wirral untethered, and this appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a
radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber. It's empty like a...
This is where the memory should go.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marble. The whole thing resembles Cadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. History classes, students with their textbooks open. Radio frequencies, it's unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. All lead whoever decides to call in to a call-in station. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on map.
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the root.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-east. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a tool. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories. No idea. They stopped filling out. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
Tiles on the cube are still like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial era? The static gets louder.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislain. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the production?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle. Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident. The filament you have inserted into the reader. That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core? Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the term one Fortress Accident is.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still. Nothing happens. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? A gust of freezing cold air rushes. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cell. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Sully soif.
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised. That's a plausible hypothesis. Really? You don't have a single guess? I'm placing my bets on a certain red-haired miscreant we met before. He'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. Really? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. I don't know.
thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs. Looks like it. No one has used it in ages. No sign.
A lush layer of maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeology. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away. Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock in better cosmetic order.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say.
He likes this find.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has turning the crank feels oddly satisfying. Like stir, it's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your...
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it. But this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open. I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a...
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say... This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You see.
Yeah, well, that I have no idea.
Sooner or later, you will stumble. Only the red cable somewhere.
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah, like a fucking volcano?
Yeah. You're lucky you didn't die there.
Yeah. Kuno's got some advice for you. What are you? Like 80, right? Maybe you should stop embarrassing yourself in front of a fucking...
Perhaps you could compress this negative energy and turn it into some sort of a Kuno-fied non-vomiter. That's right. Turn your weaknesses into conceptual strengths. Try it again now.
Kuno doesn't fuck...
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated. Ha ha ha. Again, the corpse laughs. Every time it happens, it gets worse and worse. There's nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dryly at the same time.
I'm at a loss as well. I could swear your shit was to get...
Sometimes even that is not enough. Life is...
Officer, you just need to be stronger. Learn to keep it in long enough for us to work.
You can open this white check again by going to your character sheet and spending a skill point to upgrade...
Relax. It's okay if you don't make... This trash container is with a well-oiled... Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. There is, but you won't like it. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow a box falls into pieces in your hand. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of... Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear straight. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in...
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the...
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one.
The fuck's he on about, kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
lieutenant nods. It's just organic waste. Nothing. It's nothing. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out.
Officer, is that your paperwork? It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM's enemies, organized crime or worse. Official notes sometimes contain informants' names, even undercover operatives. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. Only in its social sensibility. The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you, if you want to earn some change by guilting people, go for it. But if you want to earn real dough, finish the case and start getting... It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of what? There's a piece of toilet paper. Or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper. Desperately sticking to... It's a metaphor. Below the pathetics? Terror. Do not look into its blue heart. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop show staples. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar parlor. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close. There is, once all the tasks are... Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. Onto the paper, with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria man. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slap. Things to be done.
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little... It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the... An aluminium block runs the width of the board. The surface is... It is similar to...
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Yes, RCM vehicle...
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk. There he still is, looking right through. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a
They do after 7 days, yes.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of... The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you. Out of place some. These are clearly not boots. They're armor.
Indeed. Technique ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the hill. Fair weather. Fair weather. The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. For a full set, about 4 years.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real.
By catching, do you mean... Let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
What was that about the constabulatory before? You need to push some buttons if you want to recruit the lieutenant in a conspiracy.
So they don't get shot in the foot? I think our extremities are fine without a dead man's boots.
Oops. Well, no one said it would work. Back to detecting now.
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel. I agree. This equipment is way...
A small bell-like sound fills the air. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally.
Faint Organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by high. If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination.
Good. Can you read it to me?
X54156745678222. Let's lie.
That doesn't sound like a serial number. Where's the structure and logic of a line of manufactured products? Well, no matter.
True. It didn't have the cadence and logic of a real manufactured item.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema to run it later.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure? The Sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic. This feels... the stench fills your nostrils.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
You're about to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Stop obsessing about your sexuality, officer. You are about to seriously...
Indeed. From this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? How many clues do you need? You already found a number. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals have...
You're sure there's a way to peel them off? But first, the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around. The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will...
The cadaver slowly twists on the... The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his... This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt. Big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you?
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. An intricate web of his corpse is marked by stars. Alcohol and heartbreak.
I have only a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were. I agree.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's existence.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper.
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it? It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted here, a souvenir.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by. His eyes are milk. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode. The corpse is dead.
Who is he?
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shot. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin.
The monster comes back in.
So, what do you think? Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging. Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption, but we should still get him down before signing a probable cause. I do.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
But there is no breath to catch.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done. The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. Climb up there and saw the branch? There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees. Someone else? You mean like the police?
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
No. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we...
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea. Silence. With his elbow sharp and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzle loader. Ascetic, frugal, one of the most common He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenement.
God damn it.
Fucking idiot! Mookaba!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains in. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the law.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the
The lieutenant doesn't say a word. Just
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance. It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs. Kuno.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana poika.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal.
The fuck are you waiting for, coot?
The buckle comes into focus in your sights.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view, the slow movement of the...
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty? Or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about?
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb. You missed the belt.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry. I knew it. What a mulko.
The armistice is sufficiently precise, officer, especially at close range.
It's not the gun's fault you can't shoot. It's your...
Pigs don't have hands. They have, like, fucking who?
Kuno has hands. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you.
That's preposterous. What are you, a fucking earl?
We still need to get him down, somehow. The bad way. The way I didn't want us to. By asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. If they put him from the gates...
To the gates. Let's negotiate.